Imagine, for a second, walking away from everything. I mean, power, wealth, your home, even the clothes you're wearing. All of it gone. All for a radical idea of what it means to be free. Well, today we're going to talk about the incredible story of a 12th century saint from India who did exactly that, challenging every single norm of her time to live a life of pure spiritual truth. You know, the best place to start is with her own words. Just listen to that. What garment is needed for the body made of dust? That one line, it just cuts right to the heart of everything she was about. It's a total challenge to our ideas of shame, the body, and what it really means to be free. So yeah, this is the story of AKKA Mahadevi. She was a poet, a mystic, and honestly one of the earliest and most powerful voices of what we'd probably now call spiritual feminism. Okay, so let's set the scene. We're going back to the 12th century, in a village in what's now Karnataka, India. She was born to these really devout parents, followers of Lord Shiva. So she grew up with this deep faith. But for AKKA Mahadevi, that faith, it was about to ignite a revolutionary fire. Right from the get-go, it was pretty clear that Mahadevi's path was not going to be like anyone else's. Not even close. Think about it. While all the other kids were, playing with toys and living in the material world, AKKA Mahadevi was already having deep conversations with her one true love, Lord Shiva. She even had this beautiful name for him, Chenna Mallikarjuna, which means the beautiful Lord, white as jasmine. And listen, this wasn't some childhood fantasy or a phase she was going through. In her heart, in her soul, she was already spiritually wedded to him. As far as she was concerned, her husband was the Lord of the universe, and there was absolutely no room for anyone else. But of course, the material world, it doesn't just let you go that easily, does it? Her beauty and her incredible wisdom, they caught the eye of the local king, a guy named Kaushika. So this king, he demanded that she marry him. She flat out refused, telling him, "Sorry, I'm already married," to God. But he wouldn't take no for an answer. And with all this pressure coming from her family, she found herself completely trapped. So she agrees to the marriage, but she does something incredible. She sets one single, non-negotiable condition. I mean, she looked a powerful king right in the eye and laid down the law. It was a promise that would literally seal her fate. And, well, you can probably guess what happened. The king eventually broke his promise. He got in the way of her spiritual life. And her response? It was immediate, it was absolute, and it was shocking. She didn't just leave the palace, she renounced everything it stood for, right down to the very clothes on her back. You see, her walking out of that palace naked, that wasn't just her defying a husband. Oh no, it was a huge spiritual statement she was making to the entire world. She walked out of there completely fearless, with nothing but her own long hair to cover her. Her action was basically a philosophical argument. The soul doesn't have a gender, right? The body is just a temporary thing, made of dust. So why are we so obsessed with decorating it? Why hide it in shame? But what she gave up went so much deeper than just clothes and jewelry. It wasn't just about the physical stuff. The way she later explained it, she had renounced the three worlds that can trap a person. First, she renounced the body, seeing it as just a temporary shell. Second, she renounced the mind, freeing herself from the ego. And third, she renounced the senses, moving completely beyond physical desire. Now, with ideas this radical, you kind of need to find your people, right? And she did. She found a home in the Virshaiva movement. These guys were revolutionaries for their time. They were against the caste system, against meaningless rituals, and against gender discrimination. It was a perfect fit. So as she's wandering the land as an ascetic, her journey eventually leads her to a place where, well, let's just say her convictions were about to be put to the ultimate test. She traveled all the way to a place called Kalyana to get into the Anubhava Mantapa. You have to picture this. It was like a great spiritual academy, an assembly of the absolute greatest thinkers of that era, and it was led by a master named Allama Prabhu. So just try to imagine this scene for a second. This young woman, completely naked except for her hair, walks into this hall full of revered, older male saints. I mean, you could hear a pin drop. And their leader, Allama Prabhu, he decides to test her, to challenge her right there in front of everyone about her appearance and her sincerity. And her response? Wow. It was just brilliant.
It completely dismantled all their assumptions about the body, about gender, about everything. She wasn't just defending herself. She was questioning the very way they saw the world, speaking from a place of pure, undeniable spiritual truth.
The entire assembly was left completely speechless. I mean, stunned into silence. They didn't just accept her, they honored her. From that day on, she was known as AKKA, which means elder sister, a title of the deepest possible respect.
So, after spending her final days in deep meditation in the sacred hills of Sri Shaila, AKKA Mahadevi's physical journey came to an end. But her voice was really just getting started. She left behind a legacy of over 400 profound poems, which are called vachanas. And these aren't just pretty words on a page. They are raw, they are passionate, and they are packed with this fearless philosophy about her divine love. So, why are we still talking about her story all these centuries later? Well, her legacy is just massive. She completely dismantled the idea that a woman's duty was just to her family or husband. She showed that there was a direct, personal path to the divine, a path that was open to absolutely everyone, no matter their gender, their caste, or their place in society. And really, that's what her story leaves us with. It's a question that feels as urgent today as it was 900 years ago. This one woman broke every single chain that society tried to put on her just to prove that real freedom, it's internal. And it forces you to ask yourself, what invisible chains are we still wearing today?